Introduce yourself and go direct to the point.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I am Bieka Susan, the judges, moderator, fellow debaters, and the rest of the audience. Good evening. I am a student in education majoring in literature in English, and I am here with my colleagues. To oppose the motion, early school sexual relations are a necessary evil. In my view, a necessary evil is a less unpleasant of two unpleasant options. And our first speaker gave us a point of experience. Experience can be got in sex education. You can impart experience in the children, give them better sexual exposure in sex education on how to handle themselves and avoid things like heartbreak and stress. Next, solving disputes is not a very strong point on my side. I agree that there are necessary evils, but if we are saying sexual relations in school, in early sexual relations are a necessary evil, that I do not agree. In the view of solving disputes, you did not give us relevant evidence on how we can go about this, and sexual relationships have brought about various vices. Let's say early pregnancy. Early pregnancy has not only affected us financially, it has affected us economically as a country. In Uganda, around 645 billion is allocated to early pregnancies. The welfare of those mothers and their children is taken care of by our country. This strains us economically. We are already a country struggling in debt. And all this huge amount of money that is being taken. In conclusion, if we are saying early school sexual relations are a necessary evil, then we might as well say child sacrifice is a necessary evil.
Okay, thank you so much. Any question from the proposing side? Let me give her.
My name is Naima, a student of education, specializing in Islam and ICT. Madam Susan, you've said that I would like to ask this question. Do you understand the meaning of the word necessary evil?
Okay, thank you. I understand the meaning of necessary. It means it is needed. But then, an evil remains an evil.
Point of defense or addition.
Let us first conclude.
An evil remains an evil. In the view that it is necessary, it means it is going to bring about a positive outcome. But the negative outcomes of early sexual relations outweigh the positive.
Okay.
I appreciate our beloved judge and also the moderator. I want to inform my fellow honorable that, do you know that when you give a child or a younger child sex issues, you are like giving him or her the license of prostitution? It is evidenced, Mr. Judge, it's evidenced in one author who said it is called Ben Richards, that when you give a younger child sex or any sex issue, you are like giving him or her the license of prostitution.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I give you the opportunity to talk and not to talk. Let us go direct to our next speaker, who is coming from the proposing side.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. By the name, I'm Wafula Ivan, a student at Islamic University in Uganda, pursuing a Bachelor's of Arts Education, specializing in Islam and ICT. I thank the Madam Moderator and the judge, and I also thank the two sides, that's the proposing side and the opposing side. Our go direct as our motion is early school sexual relationship or coupling is a necessary evil. To me, I totally agree with it. due to some of these reasons. Number one, early sexual relationship can prevent teenage pregnancy. How? If somebody is lectured or if somebody is given a clue on sexual education, he or she, if is engaged in that sexual relationship, he has control in it. He can't do something without knowledge. For instance, or in addition to that, if you do something without knowledge, you end up crashing. Let's give an example here at Islamic University in Uganda. When we were freshers or our first day, we didn't know what to do with lectures. But when we got used or when we were lectured or when we were given orientation, we came to understand that this and this is supposed to be done. That's why for me, I agree with early school sexual relationship that it can help to prevent early teenage pregnancy. Then another point is it can help a person who is practicing to understand puberty. How? The teenage puberty, somebody can't tell that I'm under puberty or I'm experiencing this stage, minus being lectured about sexual education. So if he or she is engaged in sexual relationship, he's not going to crash. That's what I understand, or that's what I can do with it.
Thank you so much. Any questions from the opposing side?
I appreciate our judge.
One question, please.
Question is very clear. I disagree with his word because early pregnancy, early this sexual relationship.
A question.
Is, can he produce the evidence which prove his words that this sexual relationship can prevent or can try to give some condition is governing early pregnancy other than again adding more influence on it?
Point of defense.
Thank you very much. This school sexual relationship or early school sexual relationship, according to me, it can. Because as I've stated earlier, if you're doing something with experience, it can help you to proceed with it or to progress with it. But if you're doing something out of the blue, you can't progress with it unless you have a guide on it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. We only have to get one question from one side. We don't get more than one question. Thank you. Let us go direct to our next speaker who's coming from the opposing side.
By the name, I'm Nasamba Badir, offering Islam and the computer in the Faculty of Education. I appreciate our beloved judge, our beloved moderator. I'm here to highly disagree with the motion by saying that one of the stronger points why I disagree with this motion, one, this early sexual relationship, I'm assuring you, my beloved judge, it affects academic performances. For example, when you are just in your love issues, if assuming you slept with you are having, maybe your friend whom you are loving within the class, you are going to fear even to raise the point. And once you fear to raise any point, it means even you're going to fail. Then secondly, it also go ahead by opposing the religious rules and regulations. I'm assuring our beloved judge, when you go in Islam, it highly disallowed the younger men, the younger children to involve in sexual issues. That is Quran 17. That is 17. It's just 17:32. Swat Sirah. Even the Prophet himself went ahead by prohibiting us to engage in those things when you're still young. And also, the same thing, these sexual issues, it also promotes stress. For example, if assuming I had my friend yesterday and this have my brain, I'm going to have stress. And for the information, after having stress, often I go by making either maybe suicide to kill myself because I had some disturbance. Information is another point. It also go ahead by disobeying the Ugandan rules. For example, in Uganda here, I remember in 2007, His Excellency Museveni of the Uganda went ahead by telling us some rules governing these sexual issues. And he said that, according to him, when he started with Minister of Education, the stronger point which is affecting our performance, he said sexual relations at school. Therefore, I'm also finding out by saying that, and when you go ahead by asking, we are having our philosophers who went ahead by telling us, we're having Erickson. He said that when you go ahead by involving in sex when you are still young, you end up losing hope. Therefore, I'm saying, I strongly disagree with the motion by saying sexual relationship is just a strong and a great evil, not even a mere sin, but a great evil. And when I define the evil, I consider it as something very bad in the society. Therefore, I raise my hand by saying this motion, I disagree with it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Let us have a question from the proposing side.
My name is Naima, a student of education, specializing in ICT and Islam. My question is, Mr. Badu, you say that they bring academically poor performance. Yes. So I hereby posing a question. I ask and I say, Mr. Badu, you mean that with single-sex schools that don't have sexual relationship, is it the only problem that caused the poor academic performance? That's my question.
I'm here by giving you some evidence. For us, we are saying, when His Excellency sat with the Minister of Education, they sat and they said, among the stronger problems which are hindering the performance in Uganda, they said sexual relationship. It was 2007.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Once again, I'm Namagan Janet, pursuing a bachelor's degree in arts education, English language literature. Honorable Badu, I want to pose a question to you, that you are saying all sexual relations in school are very bad, it's very bad, and it's leading to poor performance in schools. I hereby asking you, how of schools that are performing well in Uganda are mixed schools also not involved? Oh, the mixed schools are low, are down, and then the single schools are the ones leading.
Let me ask my fellow honorable, Madam Speaker, or Madam Moderator, and our Chief Judge. For me, once I say anything, I give the evidence. In 2013, the Minister of Education told us the performance, and they said the stronger school which performed the poor, they said that they engage themselves in this sexual relationship. Therefore, I come by saying sexual relationship is a great evil, not even a mere, but a great one even.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I can assure you, our dear listeners of 93.1 IUIU FM, that there is fire on the mountain. You can feel the fire on the mountain. And we are just getting started. This is our first session of this debate. And we have a motion that states, early school sexual relations or coupling are a necessary evil. And we are going to come back after our break. I am your moderator, Akwe Jovia, and we are going to come back after this small break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. IUIU FM. I welcome you back to our debate. As I told you earlier on, there is fire in the mountain. There is tension in the house. I can assure you that it's 33 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock, and we are back with our education debate where we have teachers in the house battling each other. I can assure you that today is better than yesterday. I can assure you. I'm feeling the tension. I'm feeling the fire. People are sweating in their house. So today we are having Group 5 versus Group 6 with a motion that states, early school sexual relations or coupling are a necessary evil. And this program started yesterday, the 19th of October 2023, and it's going up to the 28th of October 2023. And on weekdays, we shall be going from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And on weekends, we shall be going from 12 p.m. up to 2 p.m. So let us go back to our debaters, to our speakers, our honorable speakers. And today we are having ladies in the house. Today we are having gender balance. We are having equality in this building. Let us go back to our honorable speakers. You introduce yourself and you have 5 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm by names of Mbabas Naima, a student of education specializing in ICT and Islam. As the motion was stated that early school sexual relations or coupling are a necessary evil. I propose the motion. First of all, with the school sexual relationship, it brings out emotional growth. What do I mean by emotional growth? If at all I'm dating in school and I happen to have some conflicts with my boyfriend, like I find him doing stuffs and I get to be used with the environment. That's what I can say. Like, it makes me grow my emotion, knowing that if at all I love someone, I will do this and I will do this. And then when we talk about another point, which is building self-esteem, we all know that students who come from single-sex schools find a problem in associating with outside environment. How? Students who don't know how to cooperate with boys and how to talk with other gender, they find their problem like talking, even a mere getting a microphone and say that my name is this and this, you find them shivering just because they lack that self-esteem. They don't believe in themselves, yet it is, and self-esteem brings the worth it brings the self-worth. Like, if at all I'm chosen by someone and then I be like, yes, I'm worth, like I'm loved, it brings that sense of being loved. And then it brings the thing of time management. Like, if at all I'm dating someone in school, I'll make sure that that person it even brings in competition. I'll be like, by this time, I'll be in school, like I'll be at school. I'll make him or her, like that person that I'm dating, to be at school within time. And we all know that time management is that variable skill that is beyond class. That is the thing that we need not only in class, but even outside the world. And then with that, I say that I really and I strongly believe that early sex relationship are necessary in school.
Thank you so much. Question from the opposing side.
Honorable Naima, do you know that Havelock Ellis, a British philosopher, proved that love affairs among teenagers are a cause of emotional distress to them?
What you say is right, but as we say, it is a necessary evil. As we say, I'm still speaking, please. I say it's a necessary evil. It brings emotional growth. You get to know that my colleague, I'm dating my colleague. If I told he do this and that, it will bring me down, but I know how to again stand up and I move.
Point of the face.
So you...
I'm Nasamba Badiru. I appreciate our judges and also our moderator. I'm having a question. You knowing that it's necessary, have you ever seen any evil which is necessary?
Point of defense.
Let Madam Speaker defend herself, please.
You've asked, is there any evil which is necessary? Mr. Badu, I'll again ask you this question. I'm sorry to drive a question into a question.
Okay, first answer his question before you question him.
Okay, I will answer my question through his question.
Okay.
Like you said, I will ask you again, a necessary evil. Do you know the meaning of the word a necessary evil? It is something that, yes, we don't need it, but we find it. I would say, is it okay if I use the word in Luganda? Have you ever heard this word? Wachiri Kongo mu by'omweru. So there is this thing that yes, it is bad, but at least we need to have it in the society so that we can know how to move on with the society.
Point of defense, Madam.
Honorable Naima, you agree that these sexual relations are an evil, right? You do agree, right? And
She does.
yes. And then you said a necessary evil is wachiri wachiriko, right? But then it is supposed to be a less unpleasant. And we have seen that these sexual relations lead to various vices,
Point of addition.
Thank you so much, our speakers. This is just a reminder, when you are talking, put the microphone next to your mouth, please.
Once again, I'm Namagan Janet, pursuing a bachelor degree in arts education, English language literature. As I defined earlier, the word necessary evil, it refers to something that is undesirable or morally objectable, but considered to be required or essential. That's the meaning of the word necessary evil.
Point of defense.
Okay, thank you so much, our speakers, our honorable speakers. With all due respect, I respect all of you in your respectable capacities. Let us go to the next speaker, please. You introduce yourself and go direct to the point. We have 5 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. By the names, I'm called Kagoya Mariam. I'm a student of IUIU, specializing in Islam, ICT. I would like to take this great opportunity to thank the moderator, the judge, and the fellow debaters. I disagree with the motion which states that early school sexual relationships are a necessary evil, with the point that early school sexual relationships lead to emotional and psychological distress in young individuals who may not be emotionally prepared for such experiences. Yet it is important to prioritize their emotional well-being and development. Kagoya Mariam.
Put the microphone next to your mouth.
Early school relationships might be influenced by peer pressure, which can sometimes lead to decisions that are not the best interest of the individuals involved. And I would like to defend my point.
Point of addition.
Are you done? Are you done? Put the microphone next to your mouth and speak.
Not yet. I would like to defend my point that early school relationships may be influenced by peer pressure, which can sometimes lead to decisions that are not in the best interests. Sometimes, students who involve in early sexual relationships end up making decisions which may lead them to unsuccessful life, hence damaging their future. For instance, most boys and girls engage in sexual relationships. Some of them end up getting pregnant, yet they're not in actual sense, they're not yet ready to take the consequences. This leads to school dropouts of most students in a school.
Madam Speaker, you have 1 minute.
I will summarize by saying that early school sexual relationships are is an unnecessary evil, which must be opposed, rejected, and avoided at all costs.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Any question from the proposing side?
Yes,
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Again, I'm by names of Babas Naima, a student of education, specializing in ICT and Islam. Here comes a question to you, Madam Speaker. The question is, do you mean that all students that drop out from schools, it is a cause of early school sexual relationship?
Point of defense.
Let her defend herself. The question was directed to her.
Thank you, Madam, for asking such a question. But I would like to defend that out of the research that was made, in the past 3 years, there has been a high number of students dropping out from school. But as a result, that has been due to the involvement in the early sexual relationships.
Point of addition.
I think you can add something.
By the name, I'm Nasamba Badir, Islam and ICT. I want to assure my fellow honorable on the proposal side that these schools, for example, last year at Nakalok Islamic SES, if you go ahead by obeying the school rules and regulations, and for example, if you are having the anatomy pregnancy at school, one, you fear how will you inform your parents what to do? You can run over the school. And once you learn, we can consider that point as sexual relationship leading to that. So therefore, I raise the message by saying that sexual relationship, it greatly contribute the school dropout.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Do you have a question?
Just defend myself.
Okay.
Once again, I'm Namagan Janat, pursuing a bachelor's degree in arts education, literature, English language literature. I want to defend myself by saying that, like, all school relations are not only viewed on one side. This motion, if you only view it on one side, then I don't know, but this motion have to be viewed on both sides, as high school relations also helps the young ones to develop their minds. Like, for example, when someone falls in love when they're still at school, not like every time you fall in love, you're going to go in for sex. No.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Let us have one person to defend.
I am Bianca Susan, pursuing Bachelor in Arts Education, Literature and English. I have a question for Honorable Janet. Whenever you're presenting your points, you are giving us both sides. I'm inquiring, are you proposing or opposing the motion?
Okay, Honorable Janet, be specific. Are you proposing or opposing the motion? That's the question.
I'm proposing the motion, just because the motion says all school relations are a necessary evil, and being a necessary evil, which means it is inevitable. Like it's essential in schools. It is essential. There's no way you can live without it, because it helps us in very many ways. As my fellows.
You only speak when I give you the permission to speak. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to tell my opponents that I think you're driving this to early pregnancy, yet it is not what we are on. The only thing that you're bringing out is you're bringing out early pregnancy, yet it is more than it's more than that. We are not only talking about early pregnancy or other stuffs. We are talking about emotional growth. We are talking about understanding your puberty. We are talking more than that. We are not only talking about early pregnancy.
Okay, as we conclude the fire, as we seize the fire, your last words.
I'm Nasamba Badiru, Islam ICT. Where our concern is, I'm wondering, my fellow honorables, if something is evil, why do you go ahead by calling it? Then, secondly, I'm winding up. If something is evil and you are still resisting on it, and I'm going to use my self views, and also if I use the philosopher's views, and I'm going to also use the laws governing Uganda, and also I use the American laws by saying when something is evil, it remains evil. No calling it again, because even the Quran, Allah Himself disagrees with us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Our dear listeners on 93.1 IUIU FM, I can assure you that we have come to the end of this debate, and we are having exactly 10 minutes at the top of the hour, and at exactly 8 p.m. we are going to have the second session of this debate. That we have year ones in the building who are going to be having another motion that states, is peer pressure harmful or beneficial to an individual? So before we conclude this session, I would like to remind you, our dear listeners, that we are having our judges in the house who are going to tell us the results of this first session. They are going to give us what they've been observing and everything in detail. That is Mr. Kabij Rashid and Mr. Zubair Galwango Miro. I hope I pronounced your name well today. Thank you so much, our dear listeners. Let's hear from our judges.
Yes, thank you. To make it easier, I think I'll make the judgment for the first debate, and then my colleague will make the judgment for the second one. Since yesterday there were 4 debaters, we realized the time will not be enough. That's why we have reduced them to 3 today, and as you can see, we are finished in time. So, I will go in detail. Namaganda, the first judge, gave her 60. The second judge gave her 65. That is out of 100. That was on the side of the proposers. Then, Wafula, the first judge, gave him 50. The second one gave him 67. And then Mbabazi, Naima, the first judge gave her 70. The second one gave her 66, which made a total of 180 on the first judge and a total of 198 on the second judge. Then on the opposers, Susan, the first judge gave her 60, while the second judge gave her 68. Badru, the first judge, gave him 75, while the second judge gave him 80. And then Kagoya, who was a big disappointment, the first judge gave her 45, while the second judge gave her 40. And that made a total of 180 on the first judge and 188 on the second judge. So, if you're to add the marks of the opposers on both judges, it makes a total of 368. And then if you to add the total of the proposers on both judges, it makes a total of 378. So allow me to announce that this debate has been won by the proposers by a range of 10 points.
Thank you so much, our dear listeners of 93.1 IUIU FM. I wish you would be here to see the smiles on their faces.
And I must say this, the first 2 opposers made me think that the trajectory of the debate will be a victory on their side. But the third one got very little marks and made them lose, but they were going to win. So next time you get a better partner. Inshallah. So that is it, unless my colleague has something to say.
I don't have anything, but since the marks have been announced, I think we can appreciate those who have won. You have not won because you are so clever. The luck was on your side, but you need to work out on some of issues when articulating issues. You need to first of all understand the topic itself very clearly. One of you deviated from
Our dear judge, put the microphone.
Oh, divided from early sexual relationship to sexual education. And it was the gentleman in the glasses. Therefore, you need always to, as you are speaking, be in your mind, remind yourself the topic, such that you can drive your point to the topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our dear judges, and thank you so much, our listeners of 93.1 IUIU FM. I can assure you that